Well played. Some excellent pushbacks there. You're all great players. Lovely to see you all. We'll see you next time right here on The Chase.
Tonight, a fast-moving fire threat on the Fleurieu. Residents told to leave now. We're live with the latest. Also, in Adelaide, grandmother's final hours in a hospital corridor.
She's been treated like a piece of rubbish.
The harrowing video amid claims she was failed by our health system. What an accused killer told police after a frenzied knife attack at a Plimpton real estate office. A new low for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, what he's accused of doing inside the Royal Lodge. Meet Axel, the aptly named koala, rescued after a close call with a car in the Adelaide Hills. And positive signs for a power star post-surgery. We're live to the club's community camp in the Riverland.
Live from Adelaide, this is 7 News with Rosanna Mangiarelli.
Good evening. 20 homes on the southern Fleurieu Peninsula are under threat tonight as an out-of-control bushfire continues to rage near Cape Jervis. It's burning in inaccessible terrain and proving a nightmare for the hundreds of firefighters and aerial crews trying to get on top of it.
On the southern Fleurieu, the tiny coastal town of Cape Jervis is cut off as a raging bushfire looms mere kilometres away.
CFS are doing an amazing job. They're trying their hardest, but I don't know. It's not looking good.
The sky turned dark, while from the sky, the picture of how difficult this fire is to contain becomes clear. The terrain, steep and nearly impossible to access. The blaze began late yesterday in the Deep Creek Conservation Park, but this afternoon the fire front split in two, tearing through scrub and livestock properties too.
This is the reality of country living. Our house is down in there. We don't know if it's standing or not.
Peak hour traffic in the sky as a dozen aircraft, both fixed wing and choppers, tackle the blaze from above. On the ground all afternoon, a procession of trucks rolled through, MFS appliances too. Farm units in action and dozers and graders cutting fire breaks. Authorities say the next few hours will be critical in the firefight. It'll be a race against time before the sun goes down, which will force the grounding of the aerial team. For now, a nervous wait. Casey Trelaw, 7 News.
And Hannah Ford joins us from the fire ground. Hannah, what are crews saying there?
Rosanna, as you can see behind me, the fire is burning here in Silverton and travelling rapidly towards Cape Jervis. Residents have told me here that the blaze was coming towards them here on Range Road West before turning towards Cape Jervis, which is about 2 k's away from where I am now. Helicopters and fixed-wing bombers have been going constantly, hitting the fire, then heading straight back to fill up. But locals are preparing for the worst.
Just wet it all down just to try and protect it if the fire does come up over through the gully. So yeah, just packed up, ready to go. We've got the cars packed with all our belongings. So once we're told to go, we'll jump in and head off.
Now, the wind is what is causing the most concern at the moment. It's unpredictable. What happens in the next hour is critical to how far this fire spreads. Cape Jervis is now cut off due to the closure of Main South Road, so ferry services to KI are cancelled for now. Rosanna.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Let's turn to other news now. And a former magistrate has withdrawn charges against a man accused of bashing him in Ville Gardens. Simon Smart was allegedly attacked with a metal pole on Saturday afternoon. 44-year-old Joseph Gill was arrested and charged with a range of offences, including aggravated assault. That charge has now been dropped, but police are still pursuing Gill for hindering police and breaching bail. Chilling details have emerged about the horrific stabbing death of property manager Julie Seed at Plimpton. The court heard the accused man told police he'd always wanted to know what it was like to kill someone.
Julie Seed was stabbed to death in a frenzied attack at Plympton 5 days before Christmas 2023. Her alleged killer, 32-year-old Sean Dunk, is arguing mental incompetence, but prosecutors maintain there was a degree of planning, that Dunk stole a knife and meat tenderizer from a supermarket and began scoping out a business in order to commit his crime. The court heard 38-year-old Miss Seed was fatally stabbed 4 times to the chest, then struck on the head with the meat tenderizer, which broke. Her terrified colleague, Susan Scardino, was also knifed. Dunk allegedly chased her around the office before she managed to flee. CCTV footage played to the court showed Miss Scardino running from the real estate office, followed by what could only be described as a blood-curdling scream. The prosecutor said Dunk was arrested at the scene and in a 4-hour police interview told them he chose the business because it looked like an easy target and wanted to know what it was like to kill someone. He was displaying no signs of psychosis or hallucinations. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia after he was taken into custody. He's charged with the murder of Miss Seed and attempted murder of Miss Scardino. The trial to determine his mental competence at the time of the alleged crimes will run for 4 days. Deanna Williams, 7 News.
The distraught family of a sick Kilburn grandmother is demanding answers after the 64-year-old died in a hospital corridor. 7 News has obtained damning CCTV that shows Helen Sargent was left alone for more than an hour with no access to an emergency buzzer.
A 64-year-old patient lying in a hospital corridor.
She's been treated like a piece of rubbish.
When Helen Sargent arrived at the Royal Adelaide, she said she was having trouble breathing, but there were no rooms available. Instead, she was wheeled into this nook outside a kitchen.
I promised myself I wasn't going to cry.
That day, her condition worsened.
Can't sleep at night. All I see is Mum, you know, in the corridor by herself, dying. And I can't get on with life, you know.
For the family, there was only one way forward, to get to the bottom of Helen's undignified death.
My mother should have lived that day, but through the hospital's action, she's now no longer with us. I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. To anyone's family.
Helen's children successfully applied for inpatient hospital records and CCTV of that fateful day. It shows that at 9:51 a.m, the patient's bed was briefly attended. Helen had a mask, but no emergency buzzer to alert staff.
With somebody who's having breathing difficulties, you're not going to have a blue mask over their mouth.
50 minutes later, someone walks past but doesn't stop. At 10:55, she's checked on and found unresponsive. Staff begins CPR. Helen was pronounced dead 15 minutes later. In her patient records, it states an attempt was made to move the bed into the CPR position, but it wasn't connected to power, and there was a delay in oxygen administration due to patient overflow. In a tragic irony, only after Helen's death was she finally moved into a hospital room.
The system's failed. The system's failed big time. I'm sorry to say, but if I'm ever sick, I'll never visit the Royal Adelaide Hospital, ever.
The incident left staff so distressed they were sent home for the day. One worker made their feelings known with a 3-word statement in Helen's medical notes. The system stinks.
This great new hospital, $2 billion or whatever it cost them to build, is supposed to be one of the best in the world. Clearly it isn't.
We still don't have our answers.
SA Health has told 7 News there have been 3 reviews into this case, each conducted by the Health Network's own senior clinicians. They say they're satisfied the patient's death had nothing to do with being left in a hospital corridor. Adding there were no delays in providing medical support or access to appropriate equipment during resuscitation. The coroner is yet to release its findings, but Helen's family say it's already preparing for a legal fight.
The $2 billion hospital, what they have built, they have not got the staff to run the bloody show.
Mitchell Sariovsky, 7 News.
The state opposition's under pressure to explain how it would pay for almost $5 billion worth of election commitments. Labor has tallied up promises made by Ashton Hearn and her predecessor Vincent Tasia, including 50-cent public transport fares, reintroducing the home battery scheme and a range of regional commitments.
Are they ready for government? Well, I think this number says no. Are they financially responsible? I think this number says no.
These are the just most fanciful numbers that I've ever seen.
The Libs have rejected claims of reckless spending, saying they'll provide full costings in the lead-up to the election. And Chris McDermott's run for the seat of Dunstan has been short-lived. The Crows legend will no longer be contesting the eastern suburbs seat at next month's election. Instead, he'll be running for the upper house as the #1 candidate for the Fair Go party.
I've lived a lot of the experiences that I'm going to be trying to adjust, fix, tweak and make better for the next group of South Australians.
The party is yet to reveal a replacement candidate for Dunstan. 4 teenage boys aged 13, 14 and 15 have been arrested, accused of a smash and grab rampage at Christie's Beach. It's alleged they shattered glass windows with rocks along Beach Road before breaking in and stealing items. Each of the boys was charged with serious criminal trespass, theft and breaching bail. Well, the on-again, off-again union between the Liberals and the Nationals could soon be restored. Truce talks between Susan Lee and David Littleproud are underway tonight after the Nationals leader survived a challenge from within.
Arriving one by one for a little spill that's leaving a big mess.
There was a spill motion in the National Party room and it was unsuccessful, so David Littleproud is still the leader of the Federal National Party.
But it did give Colin Boyce something to rejoice, spurring another vote put by Victorian National Darren Chester demanding that David Littleproud
work in good faith as a matter of urgency to reinstate the coalition.
Having blown it up 2 weeks ago for the second time since the election, when 3 Nationals breached shadow cabinet solidarity by voting against tougher hate speech laws, meeting with Susan Lee tonight, despite having declared
we cannot be part of a shadow ministry under Susan Lee.
This week, today, they apparently can.
Honestly, they say a day or a week is a long time in politics at the moment, an hour is.
With David Littleproud demanding the National Renegades be reinstated to shadow cabinet and Susan Lee adamant they won't be, the leaders are left searching for an elusive piece of middle ground, one that won't collapse beneath their feet again. And if the Nationals don't rejoin,
David Littleproud is on the verge of scoring the biggest own goal on the centre-right of Australian politics of all time.
Labor loving the show.
You can't fight for Australia if you're obsessed by fighting each other.
As One Nation recruit Barnaby Joyce turns tease, foreshadowing another joining him.
You only have to wait 24 hours. Get me back on tomorrow.
This afternoon at the traditional pre-Parliament last post ceremony. Warring parties unite, however briefly. Mark Riley, 7 News.
A rate hike is looking all but certain when the RBA delivers its first decision of the year tomorrow. But in hopeful news for homeowners, some economists say we could be in for a surprise.
The holidays are over and the country is back on the tools. And back to reality, with fears of a rate hike tomorrow, putting dreams of home ownership for many beyond reach.
Mate, forget it. It used to be a reality. It's not even a dream anymore for young guys.
All 4 big banks are predicting the RBA will raise rates 0.25% to 3.85 after CPI figures last week showed inflation was still running hot.
A hike tomorrow is almost a done deal.
For the average Australian mortgage of around $700,000, that means an extra $109 a month, or worst case Sydney, with an average $800,000 plus mortgage, an extra $130.
This is not small change for many borrowers whose budgets are already completely stretched.
But not everyone's convinced there will be a rate hike tomorrow. The markets have factored in a 70% possibility, while one survey says the odds are absolutely line ball. 33 economists and experts polled by Finder found 51% predicting a hike, 49% a hold. Shane Oliver in the latter group.
Because there's a danger here that if you jump in
and raise rates prematurely, that you adversely affect the economic recovery we've started to see.
He says rate changes are like cockroaches.
If you see one hike, there's usually a few more. I reckon in this case it will be a case of one and done.
Cold comfort for a young apprentice dreaming of building his own one of these.
It's going to be pretty much impossible for us.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
And we will have live coverage at 2 p.m. tomorrow, followed by expert analysis at 6 o'clock. You can also download the free 7 News app and turn on our free notifications to get breaking news straight to your phone. Let's turn to video just in, and tennis legend John McEnroe, who's famous for his on-court tantrums, has been involved in a verbal confrontation with a fan at Melbourne Airport.
Will you stop? Stop! Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
Apparently, the young man was persistent, following McEnroe through the terminal from the car, seeking a photo. Well, to much brighter news, and it's mission accomplished for Carlos Alcaraz. The tennis star has become the youngest ever to complete the career Grand Slam, winning all 4 majors. At just 22 years old, his win over Novak Djokovic signals a changing of the guard in the world of tennis.
A 7-time Grand Slam champion with the world's media at his feet, Carlos Alcaraz sealing his maiden Australian Open title with a kiss.
Dream come true, to be honest. Once I saw the ball going out, it was like, all right, I made it.
It took 4 sets to down a 38-year-old Novak Djokovic, who was vying for a record 25th Grand Slam.
History complete at Melbourne Park.
But it was a night of tame celebrations.
I wish that my body, was or had energy enough to do something. Spend a little bit more of time with my brother and some friends that were here playing some games, and that's it.
Alcaraz has a tattoo of each slam he has conquered: an Eiffel Tower for the French, the Statue of Liberty for the US, the famous strawberries of Wimbledon, and now there could be a kangaroo on his calf.
Something great, to remember this great moment.
A great moment fellow Spaniard Rafael Nadal was in row A to witness.
It feels very weird to see you there and not here,
1.368 million fans packed Melbourne Park over the tournament, 150,000 more than last year, and that's only the beginning. The expansion of the Australian Open could move across Olympic Boulevard next year, with Tennis Australia already in talks with Collingwood to take over their facilities during the tournament, putting fan zones or extra courts on Olympic Park.
Their pre-season training, so we don't want to disrupt any of that with them, but there is a way to use more of that precinct.
Xander Maguire, 7 News.
Now, Port Adelaide has descended on the Riverland for the club's first trip to the region in almost a decade. Let's go live to Josh Money, who's with the Power for this year's community camp. And Josh, the boys are in Renmark tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Rosanna, from the home of the Renmark Rovers, where the Port players have just finished a footy clinic with the first of 3,000 kids they'll be reaching on this year's camp. It's a 2-day trip, and it's all about teaching the keys to a healthy lifestyle, respectful relationships, and of course a few footy skills too. Tomorrow the boys will visit 14 schools across Renmark, Berry and Loxton on the club's first trip to the Riverland since 2017.
Big focus for us because we know how important that is for kids growing up, especially in rural areas where it's not as abundant. So even for me as a kid growing up, I know how special it was to have players come in and run some clinics for us, and it just made our year. So that's what we try and do here.
Tonight, the players will be speaking at a community dinner at Hotel Renmark, with all money raised going straight back into junior footy in the region. I'll be back later in sport with more from Miles Bergman, who's in for a bit of a role change this year under his new coach in Josh Carr, guys.
Right, we'll see you then. Thank you very much, Josh. And it's so good to see Port back in the Riverland, isn't it?
You were born in Renmark, weren't you?
I was certainly born there.
Well, we'll make sure that Josh pays tribute to that statue of you on Main Street as well. Right.
Good idea.
Coming up in sport, now, good signs for Power fans. Coming out of training at Alberton before they did head up north. We'll tell you all about that. Plus, there's also some good news for Crows fans. One of their prized teenagers is working his way back into the game after a horror injury run. 36ers owner Grant Kelly hits back at speculation that coach Mike Wells' role is under threat. And the Aussies in a spin just days out from the T20 World Cup, copying another hit from Pakistan. Rosanna, we've got all that and plenty more coming up at Sport. Everyone's running down to the main street in Renmark.
I need photos to prove it, huh?
That's it. If it's not there, it should be there.
All right, we'll see you later in Sport Jam-Packed. Thank you so much, Soda. Now next, how a koala became trapped inside a car grill, the remarkable escape and rescue in the Adelaide Hills. Also, Andrew's fresh allegations, new claims levelled against the disgraced former prince. All the winners and glamour from the Grammys, plus swap to veggies and save. Hacks to help your health and your bank balance.
Crazy.
What is Kevin up to?
They just got the Kia EV4.
Do you love me now, Brian?
I'm crazy.
Oh, poor Kevin.
And crazy for crying. And
come on, mate. Let's get you cleaned up.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
We're here for the dreamers, the morning ponderers, the neighbourhood wanderers, the sample hoarders, the concept boarders, the curious display explorers. However you dream, there's an outback patio for you, made with Stratco How To.
Forgot this? Love you, Dad.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Introducing a breakthrough in anti-aging treatments, the Zahav Dynamic Lift. This powerful technology delivers a complete gym workout for your face.
I'm Katrina Webb, Paralympic gold medalist. The Dynamic Lift is my alternative to cosmetic surgery. It's my secret to radiant, youthful skin, and the only anti-aging treatment I really trust.
Ready to start your journey to ageless beauty? Call Yafa Zahav today to unlock your special offer.
How far would you go to keep your home smelling fresh? Try Airwick 24/7 fragrance, aerosol-free automatic spray infused with 2 times more essential oil for up to 70 days of freshness. Now that's a breath of fresh Airwick.
We like to have a clean floor, but from time to time, the family of 4 and a pet, life happens and the floors get dirty. And that's why we called Electrodry. Electrodry's technicians were amazing.
They lifted up the dirt and grime, and now the tiles look like new. We got the grout sealed as well, just to make everything cleaner for longer.
Wow, what a difference! For the kind of clean that really shines.
All you need is Electrodry. Electrodry.
For 60 years, Colorbond Steel has been made by you and by this country. Together, we weather it all with strength and resilience. So thank you for trusting us to be part of your Australian dream. Colorbond, made by Australia.
Now, it doesn't get any more Aussie than this. A koala trapped inside the grille of a Holden Commodore after it was struck on a dark stretch of road at Kangarilla. And to top off this wild story, it survived with barely a scratch.
A little koala trapped in a rather hairy situation.
Yeah, he's in there moving around. Little fella. Never mind. I was going to say, running around.
The 6-kilo marsupial was struck on an 80-kilometre stretch of road at Kangarilla. Anthony Zawitsis was behind the wheel.
I was coming around the corner and all of a sudden the koala just popped out and I couldn't really swerve, couldn't really stop because I had a mate behind me as well, so I had it just happened.
Next you know, there's half of a koala hanging out the front of his car, so it was a bit full on.
It was an intricate retrieval mission for the volunteer rescuers. Remarkably, Anthony's car came off worse than the little koala, who, as it turns out, can bear quite a lot.
We had to think of the best ways to get him out without breaking the car further and also not hurting him, so which he's more important.
A check-up at the local wildlife vet clinic has cleared him of any major injuries. A remarkable tale of survival, giving new meaning to the name Bear Grylls.
So we thought, well, what's the next car part? And Axel was just something we thought suited him.
Axel will continue to recover here under vet supervision, but if all things go smoothly, rescuers hope to return him back to his home by the end of the week.
90 to 95% of the calls we get for vehicle strikes aren't from the people that hit him, but because he stopped straight away and noticed, then that's probably what saved his life.
Jasmine Turlings, 7 News.
That's a very good outcome there. Let's turn overseas now, where the Epstein scandal keeps getting worse for Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, who's now facing allegations he abused a woman inside the Royal Lodge. It's a new low for the disgraced former prince, heaping more pressure on him to testify in a US inquiry.
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor emerges from Royal Lodge facing fresh allegations. The 30-room mansion, the very location his new accuser says a sexual encounter took place between them in 2010. In her 20s at the time, the unnamed survivor says she was trafficked to the UK by Jeffrey Epstein specifically to meet with Andrew. After their night at Royal Lodge, she says the then prince gave her a private tour of Buckingham Palace and tea. The accusations levelled just 2 days after these damning photographs were shared in the US Department of Justice's latest Epstein files release, showing Andrew on all fours above an unidentified woman, as well as these emails between his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson and the convicted pedophile months after he completed his prison sentence. "You are a legend," she wrote. "I really don't have the words to describe my love, gratitude for your generosity and kindness. I'm at your service. Just marry me." In the long history of the Epstein saga, this marks the first time a survivor has alleged a sexual encounter took place at a royal residence. Despite that fact, neither the palace nor the former prince has responded to the accusations.
If I were his criminal attorney, I would be saying keep your head down and don't say a word. But realistically speaking, I think the Department of Justice here in the States needs to enforce his testimony and potentially prosecute him.
In London, Ben Downey, 7 News.
A man's caused a security scare and delays when he climbed on top of a plane at Spain's Valencia airport. The 24-year-old snuck onto the runway and scaled the Airbus A320 using the boarding stairs. Airport security confronted him as he paced back and forth on the plane's fuselage and shouted incoherently. Once down, he was taken in for mental health checks. Well, after last week's extreme heat, the month of February is off to a kinder start. Amelia's in the hills for us tonight. And Mills, growers there are feeling a bit of relief.
Rosanna, thankfully, there are no record-breaking temperatures on the forecast this week, although growers across the state, I'm sure, would love to see a bit of rainfall. Here at the Lane Vineyard, they're looking to start vintage in the next few weeks, a touch later than last year, which was an early finish, though. They say the recent heats slowed growth because when the temperature down. So they've been happy things haven't advanced too quickly, but like the rest of us, they've had to increase their water usage.
When the rain turned off in December and January, it is a bit of a challenge, but yeah, certainly irrigating around the clock. It's both our power and our water goes through the roof.
Now this is where they irrigate from, this dam behind us here, where they've recently introduced brown and rainbow trout to keep the water quality tip-top and avoid using nasty chemicals. It's a beautiful spot here at the Lane tonight. Rosie, I'll be back with a look at your forecast very soon.
Yeah, looks stunning. Look forward to having you back. Thank you, Amelia. Aussie artists among an all-star list of winners at the Grammys. Your backstage pass to the glitz and glamour is next. Also, is Desi dead? The fresh search for Australia's missing cop killer. Mother Nature puts on a show in Guatemala, the stunning pictures. And the simple diet switch-up that's good for you and your bank balance.
Tonight, it's the greatest opening night of Idol.
The Muscular Muso.
This is the biggest audition Idol has ever done.
The singer with no song.
You want us to choose which song you audition with?
Yeah.
Whoa.
The Shy Tradie.
Nothing's fun, I'm torn. And Tina Turner.
With a twist.
I enjoyed that better than the original.
They're all on Idol's opening night. Starts tonight, 7:30.
At Solomon's, adding a little magic to your flooring and windows is easy. From plush carpets to our stunning Elements Hybrid XL and engineered timber floors, blinds, shutters and gorgeous made-to-measure curtains, Solomon's Flooring and Sultan's Blinds has it all. Discover all the latest styles to create your perfect look at our magical Solomon's prices. So to make a magical difference to your home, remember, there's magic in a Solomon's floor.
And there's magic in a Solomon's store.
If you've been waiting to build your first home, this is your moment to get moving. With Now by Weeks, new homes start from just $264,000. And for a limited time, you'll get a $15,000 cash discount. Combine it with the First Home Buyer Grant, and that's a $30,000 head start to get you moving. Turn one day into today and enjoy the quality and style you expect from Weeks, now at a price you can afford. Get moving now and discover different with Weeks.
Need a moment to unwind? Let Botanica's nature-inspired fragrances set the mood, infused with exotic magnolias from the rolling hills of the Himalayas. Botanica, inspired by nature.
Let's put a smile on your tiles, clean them up like new. To rid the grime, hello shine, you won't believe the view. For a clean you need, that's guaranteed. All you need's Electro Dry. Dry, Electro Dry, Electro Dry.
With a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, BYD Sea Lion 6 delivers intelligent safety that's evolved, unlike what's behind us. Suddenly, everything else feels old-fashioned.
Discover the world the Viking way. Small ships with no kids and no casinos.
Viking's Explorer sale is on now. Your companion flies free, upgrade to business class or sail for less. See your Viking travel advisor or book now at Viking.com.
It's no holding back.
See the world's best go all in. When Australia take on India in the NRMA Insurance Women's T20 International. Adelaide Oval, Feb 21.
SA is our home, filled with the people, the places and the things that make us, us. So let's keep enjoying what we know and love. And by SA, for SA.
Rock royalty has united to honour the late Ozzy Osbourne in a special tribute at the Grammy Awards. But as music's biggest night lit up Los Angeles, the biggest winner used the global stage to deliver a pointed political statement.
Overcome with emotion, Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican superstar and winner of the Grammy's top prize, Album of the Year. Using his time in the spotlight to draw attention to the US president's immigration crackdown.
I'm gonna say, eyes out. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans.
The Grammys taking advantage of the talent in the crowd. Australian K-pop star Rosanna singing that catchy duet. This year, the ceremony dominated by performances with a sprinkle of awards. British soul singer Olivia Dean named Best New Artist.
I never really imagined that I would be up here, let alone nominated, so thank you so much.
Australia's Tame Impala won Best Dance Electronic Recording. Billie Eilish's Wildflower won Best Song. Best Record, Luther by Kendrick Lamar with SZA. At 79 years old, Cher was honoured with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
But I just want to tell you, never give up on your dream, no matter what happens.
On the red carpet, there were sleek, structured and regal styles, the barely there and the illusion of nothing at all. Heidi Klum struggling to walk in this nude number. Reba McEntire led the In Memoriam segment. With an emotional send-off, rockstar style for Ozzy Osbourne. In Los Angeles, Smiley Hogan, 7 News.
Now let's take a look at this stunning eruption in Guatemala. This is the Fuego volcano. A camera captured the moment a ball of lava shot into the sky and began cascading down the slopes. Now the volcano is known for being regularly active with just small explosions. Does look specky. Well, now to a bombshell in the hunt for fugitive cop killer Desi Freeman, with police revealing they strongly believe he's dead. Officers are investigating if a single gunshot fired in bushland 2 hours after the murderous rampage was Freeman taking his own life.
2 hours after Desi Freeman killed 2 officers in cold blood, a single gunshot was heard. New information leading police to a renewed search for the sovereign citizen.
This is the #1 priority of Victoria Police.
Officers scoured the area in December. Today, more than 100 specialised officers, volunteers and cadaver dogs once again descended on Mount Buffalo National Park. The tip-off in November, one of more than 2,000 pieces of information police have received, including this from Jude Wilson's security cameras. Heard an hour and 15 minutes after the murders, around a kilometre from the crime scene.
The cops were going past and I came out of Nana and I heard a bang in the background. I was like, what was that?
It's been investigated by police who today revealed the manhunt may instead be a recovery mission.
We do believe strongly that he is in this area deceased.
In 160 days, there has been no sign of life, with time doing little to ease the pain among the force.
We've lost 2 colleagues. A third has been seriously injured.
Police still keeping an open mind in the marathon quest for answers.
Our pubs suffered, so definitely need to put a closure to this.
Jordan Quinn, 7 News.
Well, next, the new official proof dinosaurs roamed Australia 230 million years ago. Also, more leg room and reserved luggage space, the new Qantas seats, free for some, find out who's eligible, and a bit of blow for happy hour with the price of cocktails set to soar.
911, what's your emergency?
We lost contact.
We are in this together.
In an all-new season.
We gotta go right now.
The action never lets up.
Do you copy?
New 911, tonight after Idol.
RDNS is now called Silverchain, but that's all that's changing. There's still the same friendly faces, same in-home health and aged care you trust, and same not-for-profit values. Because at Silverchain, some things will never change.
At The Advertiser, we're committed to stories that matter to our readers.
We're all chasing wellness and longevity, no matter our age.
Our role is to question power and explain why it matters.
These are the stories that shape the lives of the next generation.
Footy, it's not just a game, it's an identity, it's a community.
We're committed to finding and sharing the truth every
single day.
We're for Adelaide.
We're for South Australia.
And we're for you.
Celebrate summer's perfect pairing with our battery circuit tours kit $279, save $50. And new 3 Series battery lawnmower $549, save $50 again. Perfect pairings made to last. Still, for life.
Carl, can a can of Glen 20 take care of my pillows?
Can do.
Dog smell?
Can do.
Bin juice stink?
Of course it can. You can eliminate more germs and odours with Glen 20 every day. It's the Can Do Can.
However these 6 symptoms of acid reflux feel to you, Gaviscon Dual Action acts in the stomach to neutralise acid fast and form a protective layer. For 6 symptoms, think Gaviscon.
I've always been proud to work for an Australian company.
I think it's a product that's proven through time.
It enables us to live our lives in the Australian climate and the lifestyle we enjoy.
Installing a Virgola adds value to the home.
Everything about it's Australian, I love it.
Here we go again. Everyone wants to know. So here it is.
Let's put a smile on your tiles, clean them up like new. To rate the grime, hello shine, you won't believe the view. For a clean you need, that's guaranteed. All you need's Electro Dry. Dry, Electro Dry, Electro Dry.
Hello. Donald Trump's choice of inflation-focused Kevin Warsh as the next Federal Reserve chair sparked the most savage sell-off of gold and silver in 40 years. Gold shedding about 13% of its value since Friday, silver more than 30%. A second profit downgrade in 3 months sparked a stock price plunge at GrainCorp today. The company says a global oversupply has pushed grain prices down. Founder and boss of corporate travel, Jamie Ferris, has packed his bags weeks after the company was exposed for overcharging customers, including the British government, to the tune of $157 million. The commodities sell-off dragged our market 1% lower today. The gold miners were hammered. The Aussie dollar buying 69 US cents. Analysts see a 72% chance of a rate hike when the RBA meets tomorrow.
Police are hunting whoever's responsible for damaging 8 historic headstones at the Kapunda Cemetery. Some of them date back to the 1900s. Police want anyone with information to contact them. Well, the cost of cocktails and pre-mixed drinks is going up. The tax on spirits rose today, one of 2 yearly increases to keep it in line with inflation. There are calls to freeze the tax to ease cost of living pressures and to support the industry as well. Well, airlines are fighting for your dollar down the back of the plane. Qantas launched a new economy seat option today, and Virgin has responded with an immediate and significant sale. Aviation editor Blake Johnson explains.
Finally, changes are happening in economy. Qantas launches Economy Plus seats today. More legroom, priority boarding and reserved access to overhead luggage bins. But much like Virgin's similar Economy X, you'll pay for the privilege unless you're a platinum frequent flyer. Qantas Gold status also gets free access. Here's what it costs for the rest of us. Sydney to Melbourne extra legroom from $30 on Qantas, $23 on Virgin. Extra legroom in economy to Perth and Denpasar is generally cheaper on Qantas, but Virgin today launched an Economy X sale with significant savings over their rival on domestic flights only. The seats give you an extra 3 to 4 inches at the knees, still quite a few less than business class. From its Boeing 737s, Qantas has removed a row or 6 seats to allow dozens of others the extra room. Its newer aircraft come from the factory with the spacing already in place. Expect the new product on most domestic flights and some short-haul international ones.
Well, there's now proof dinosaurs were roaming Australia around 230 million years ago. 6 decades after this fossil was uncovered in Brisbane by a teenager, scientists have now confirmed it belonged to a 2-legged, long-necked herbivore.
Almost the earliest time of the dinosaurs appearing on the planet.
It's the oldest fossil ever found in Australia. Fossils and dinosaurs, we better leave that one there, huh, Soda?
Don't make any old gags here, Rosanna.
Not about you, I'm saying about both of us.
I would never ask a friend
I'm much
their
younger
age.
than you, everyone
Of course
knows
you are.
that. Now, the 36ers, they've come out swinging.
They certainly have. Look, there's been a bit of speculation that the coach could be under the pump. They're sitting on top of the ladder.
Doing so well.
The boss has come out swinging, right? So we're going to hear from him shortly. Also coming up, Rosanna, we're going to head to the Riverland, where you were born not that long ago, to catch up with the Powers' Mr. Fix-It, who is eyeing off a new challenge. Young Crow back in the mix after having his wings clipped. And the Aussies on shaky ground, copping another hit in the T20 World Cup preparations.
Tonight, 7:30.
We're looking for someone who has everything.
This is the biggest audition Idol has ever done in the world.
This is why I love Idol.
New Australian Idol starts tonight.
For 60 years, Colorbond steel has been made by you. By your communities, your families, and your dreams. But most of all, by this country. Because a land like this demands durability. That's why for 60 years, we've helped you make your Australian dream. Colorbond, made by Australia.
How was your promotion thing?
I don't know.
Well, I'm so proud of you, Dad. I got you something in the glove box. And before you ask, they didn't have fruit and nut.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Vanish Gold Pro is tackling the world's toughest stains with only one shirt.
There's no way this will come out.
Even in cold and short cycles, one scoop of Vanish is safe on clothes and lifts the toughest of stains. Trust Vanish, forget stains.
Let's put a smile on your tiles, clean them up like new. To rate the grime, hello shine, you won't believe the view. For a clean you need, that's guaranteed. All you need's Electro Dry. Dry, Electro Dry, Electro Dry.
Were you late to get Josh again?
I wasn't late. Okay, here's the deal. I was about to leave work and it came to me. Today was training. Sport mode, boom. Tunes on. 360 camera clock the target, right on time. Kick the sensor, bags in, dirty boots in the front, ventilated seats on, mission complete.
He was late.
But did you pick up the eggs?
Yep, in a ditch. And I've attracted quite a crowd.
Oh, don't worry, we'll sort you out.
Nothing like being sideswiped by a cattle truck. Ladies, do you mind? Thankfully, the good people at UE are always ready to help.
Tow truck's on its way.
That was easy.
Trust me, it's not my first rodeo. Or is it rodeo?
At UE, our people make it easy when you need it most. Get comprehensive car insurance that's a bit more U-shaped. UE, you insured.
This Sport Report brought to you by UE. You insured.
Want to party at Live Golf Adelaide with a mate? 7 News and Triple M have teamed with the Rush Hour to give you the chance to win.
Tonight's code word is Crushes, GC. Head to the Triple M win page to enter and listen to the Triple M Rush Hour with me and you, Days, tomorrow from 4 to 6 to be in the running to win.
Hello again. Well, Port Adelaide star Jason Horne-Francis has made an impressive return to the track, taking part in match simulation for the first time since he had foot surgery. And while the power was in the Riverland tonight for their community camp, Seven's Josh Money is there with Miles Bergman.
Thank you, Soda. Hello again from the Renmark Rovers Footy Club. Miles, thanks for joining us. You made a big decision at the end of last season. How are you feeling now after your first pre-season under Josh Carr?
Yeah, it's really exciting, I think, with all the new coaching and staff, along with a lot of new players as well, and heaps of young talent.
What changes have you noticed?
I think just a bit more freedom and good communication between coaches and players, letting all of us make a decision on how we want to play and what suits our strengths best.
And what about you, mate? What about your role? We've heard Josh talk about maybe a bit of time forward. How will your role change in 2026?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's still up in the air. I'm still unsure, but have played a little bit of everywhere so far throughout match simulation and training. So I'll be interested to find out. A bit more forward time is exciting. Getting closer to the big sticks and hopefully kicking a few would be nice. But being versatile is really handy for the team, and I'm happy to play that role.
We saw Horne-Francis back in match sim today for the first time since that foot surgery. How big a boost is that?
Yeah, that's huge for us. He brings a lot of energy to our group and he's so vital for us. So to see him back out in the track firing with heaps of energy has been awesome, and we can't wait to see more of him.
Mitch Georgiades was in the pink hat today. There's some viral vision doing the rounds of Zach Butters cleaning him up during Friday's session. Can you just tell us what is it about Zach that makes him so hard when you run into him?
I've had my fair share of Zach hits as well. Copped one in game against Carlton last year and it hurts. He's a hard kid, so yeah, try and stay away from him where you can.
Miles, thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of the community camp.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Soda, Port's community camp continues tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Josh, and thanks, Miles. At West Lakes, Sid Draper took a big step forward in his bid to overcome nagging groin issues, joining his teammates in several drills at today's session. The 19-year-old's been restricted to running for the entire pre-season. Isaac Cumming, Jake Saligo will manage, while Riley Thilthorpe returned to the track after copping a heavy knock to his back in match sim last week. Well, Adelaide 36's owner Grant Kelly has rubbish claims his players held an emergency meeting to try and oust coach Mike Wells following Saturday's heavy loss to the Phoenix. Sydney Kings assistant coach and former NBA star Andrew Bogut threw fuel on the fire via social media, saying the situation's wild for a team sitting first on the ladder.
Kings immediately, and they've undertaken to us that they'll speak to Andrew and hopefully we won't see too much more of this.
The Sixers are now just one win clear on top after losing 4 of their last 6 games. Well, having just claimed the career Grand Slam, Australian Open champ Carlos Alcaraz has set his sights on winning all 4 majors in the 1 year. Last night's win signals a changing of the guard, with questions now on the future of Novak Djokovic.
At the start of the Australian Open, Carlos Alcaraz said that this tournament was his #1 priority for the year.
Dream come true, to be honest. It was something that I was working really hard for to get this trophy, to get the career Grand Slam.
Down a set against the GOAT, it looked like his career slam may have to wait another year until the Spaniard found another gear.
That deserves a standing ovation.
He was a brick wall to everything the Joker threw at him, closing it out in 4 sets to taste success in Australia, completing his major trophy cabinet.
History complete at Melbourne Park.
While at 38, Djokovic was ominous about his future at the AO, where he's a 10-time champion.
God knows what happens tomorrow, let alone in 6 months or 12 months, so it has been a great ride. I love you guys.
Xander Maguire, 7 News.
Well, the alarm bells are ringing loud and clear for Australia, just 9 days out from the start of their T20 World Cup campaign. Chasing 208 in their final warm-up against Pakistan, the Aussies were skittled for just 96 in Lahore. The 111-run defeat, their worst ever in the format. They were terrorised by turning pitches in the 3-zip series loss, with spin set to play a big role in the upcoming tournament.
In isolation and purely this series, we struggled, but over the last 18 months, I think as a team we've been one of the best teams in the world and we've played spin really well.
Pakistan announced they will boycott their group match against India on Feb 15 due to political turmoil between the countries. And that is our look at sport. Hey, just a quick one before we go. Carlos Alcaraz and John McEnroe, who we saw a little earlier, both won 7 Grand Slam career titles. Alcaraz only 22. He's won 62 million to date.
Already, yeah.
Super Mac, in his whole career, won 12 mil.
Oh, wow. Bit of a difference.
Haven't taken into inflation.
Cost of living, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
What about Novak?
191 million in career earnings so far.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Eye-watering, one would say.
There we go.
All right, thank you, Soda. Now, Aussies aren't eating enough vegetables because they're not getting pay packets like that. Many families just claiming they're too expensive. But switching out ultra-processed foods for veggies could save households $40 a week and also ease pressure on local growers.
Rows of fresh veg grown at home, and Richard Gorman knows how to take them from paddock to plate.
A handful of green beans in your salad, beautiful sweet corn as part of your nightly meal.
But veggies are being left behind on supermarket shelves as more families cut costs in the wrong aisle.
When we're looking at fresh veg, it could be about 70 cents per serve. But if we also factor in frozen and canned options, it can be as low as 30 cents per serve, which is a really big saving when compared to discretionary foods.
It upsets me some days when I pay $7 for one red capsicum.
40% of growers are considering leaving the industry within the next year due to rising costs and weaker demand.
That means more imported produce, higher prices.
Every extra serve of Australian grown veggies backs growers like us.
An annual campaign is encouraging simple swaps, which will also reduce the risk of developing chronic disease. Nearly 95% of Australians aren't eating the recommended 5 servings of vegetables per day. Instead, it's ultra-processed foods like biscuits and chocolate that's making up more of our diets. Georgia Holland, 7 News.
Well, Amelia's back right after the break with a watermelon mystery at Loxton's fire station.
And when it comes to the temperature, we've got some around average summer days on the way in Adelaide right through the week. I'll be back with all the details live from Hundor up next.
I'm just going to get out of the bay for a while.
What do you mean?
You can move back home. I won't be there.
I don't want you to go.
I love you. But we both know where this is going. I'm not going to fight for you anymore.
You get on that plane, we're done. I think my marriage is over.
Home and Away. This week at 7 on 7.
Something more adult.
Yeah, like he's on a horse's back.
How about kid, the grown-ups are talking.
The man, Leroy.
Oh! Yes! There he is.
Oh, man.
He's sleeping.
Look, man, you no longer align with our core demographic. So, yeah.
This is your investment property, and these are your tenants. It's easy for them to love living here. It's also easy for accidents to happen, for things to be bumped or spilled. And for some in the home, it's just in their nature. So it's important you have the right level of cover, including for accidental tenant damage. Speak to Terry Shear, Australia's leading landlord insurance specialist.
Celebrate summer's perfect pairing with our popular petrol grass trimmer $2.49, save $30, and best-selling petrol blower $3.49, save $30 again. Perfect pairings made to last, still for life.
We've always given our family members a good send-off. These times bring family and friends together, and no matter how large or intimate the gathering, Harrison Funerals take care of everything for an individually styled funeral to help tell your loved one's special story. Harrison's is proudly South Australian family-owned and has been for over 95 years. With tranquil and elegant facilities dedicated exclusively to your family and friends, Harrison Funerals is a very special place to say goodbye.
I was thinking that we could order something.
No need, my darling. I prepared a delectable, sticky pork stir-fry.
Get some pork on your fork.
Don't touch anything. Burn this. Definitely burn those. Okay. New sheets. Ooh. Oh. Thanks.
This weather report helpfully brought to you by Harris Scarf.
For Adelaide's latest news and more, tune in to Will Goodings and David Pemberthy on 5AA Breakfast tomorrow morning.
Well, time for more on the weather now, and Amelia joins us again from the lane at Harndorf. And Mills, you've got quite the view there tonight.
Yep. Rosanna, we're looking back at the boat shed here at the Lane Vineyard. It's a relatively new event space that they've built here around the dam that's used to irrigate the vines. It's really peaceful, and as you can see, it looks beautiful at golden hour right here, about now in the hills as well. Right now in the city, it's around 26 degrees, and we just topped that this afternoon. It comes after a relatively cool start. Our low was around that 12-degree mark earlier this morning. Now, across SA today, well, we have seen generally southeast to northeasterly winds at play today. Top temperatures ranging from 17 at Cape Jaffa to 34.7 at Moomba. Much kinder than the heat we saw this time last week too, and that's how it should stay as a high pressure system ridges across the south of SA. We'll see high pressure at play right through till Friday. Up north, we've got a trough that's hanging around. It's set to deepen midweek. Interstate tomorrow after a hot one in Perth today. 31 the forecast top there tomorrow, a grey 26 in Sydney. Back home, expect the odd shower or rumble across our north with that trough, maybe a bit of raised dust in the northeast as well. Sunny and up to 38 in Maree, 36 the top for Roxby Downs, Woomera and Port Augusta, while further south, sunny and a top of 30 on the way for Port Lincoln, 32 for Whyalla, 33 for Clare and Nuriutpa, up to 34 in Kadina, 35 the forecast top for Murray Bridge and Renmark, and 31 the top for Victor Harbour and Mount Gambier. In the city, down to 15 degrees overnight. Then expect more sunshine and easterly winds around, 32 the forecast top. On metro waters, we're looking at variable winds to about 10 knots, becoming south to southwesterly to 15 from late afternoon, then south to southeasterly to about 10 knots at night, seas below the metre mark. And here's the UV index. It's rated extreme over the next few days. Looking ahead, a cruisy week, sunny and 32 Wednesday. A bit of cloud around Thursday, 31 then and again on Friday. Some cooler nights at the end of the week though, with tops of 32 tipped over the weekend. Now before I go, let's take a look at tonight's ray of sunshine. Over the weekend, firefighters worked around the clock, battling blazes that ripped through dozens of hectares in the Riverland. But overnight, a mystery Good Samaritan delivered a cool surprise, leaving an abundance of whole watermelons outside Loxton's fire station. The fireys thanking the unknown melon donor, no doubt enjoying a refreshing slice soon after days on the fireground. And they do the most incredible job, our CFS volunteers too, Rosanna. And I think my kids would like that gift too, watermelon. Top stuff all round.
Who does not love watermelon? Thank you, Amelia, and very well deserved to the CFS there. That is all the news for now. We will have updates throughout the evening from all the Adelaide 17. For now, it is good night.
The 7 News app will give you the news you want every minute of every day, including breaking news alerts. Download the 7 News app now.